Murray State head coach Dean Hood, the Racers, second win in a row. They beat Robert Morris at home, their final home game of the season. This week, they're going to go to Southeast Missouri, who's ranked 15th in the polls now, the regular season finale. So, Coach, just some thoughts on your team, and then we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, just really happy for our team, our seniors. Is a big day here. It was we had a Hall of Fame, had a couple of guys that were here being inducted in the Hall of Fame. Reggie Swinton, Mike Cherry. And then all of our seniors, being honored on their last game. And, it was just good to get a win, and the way we got it. Robert Morris, unbelievable how they fought. We're mirror images of each other with injuries we've had and trying to find the first win. Their kids played hard as they could, all the way up to the final bell. And our guys were able to finish it out in the fourth. So they were really happy for them to get two in a row. Feels good. And then now we're facing, Coach Tuke and SEMO. I mean, they're the standard, them and, UT Martin. It's not surprising, that's coming down to, those two coaches, those two programs, the way that both of them have built it and coming down to the, final week of the season. So, big challenge. Their team there are no weaknesses, top to bottom, offense, defense, special teams. It's going to be a big challenge for us.
Thanks, Coach. We'll go to questions. Jake, go ahead. You're up first.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned they have no weaknesses. You've played a bunch of teams this year with very little weaknesses. What can you try to draw from some of those earlier matchups this season and take those into the SEMO game?
I think every game helps, especially us when we're trying to, figure out, the quarterback situation, how to kind of, next man up, who that next man was, how to, work the offense for what they could do, those types of things. And then defensive, we had a lot of new faces, so we had to figure out who could do what and where to put them. And then, finally, started getting some guys back healthy and was able to start running the ball a little bit, and helped our defense, but every game has helped us, figure it out a little bit, and has helped our kids, try to figure it out and had a chance to play better and get challenged and, figure out what we did wrong, what we did right. So, regardless of the opponent, it's going to help you each week to get better. But, as you say, we have played quite a few teams that are really good football teams.
An area of focus has to be the running back, Chino Hess. I know he just broke their, all-time season record mark in rush yards. How do you try to slow a guy down who's had so much success as of late?
Yeah, it's same every year we played him. He's got 1,000 yards and, he's just so tough because he's, usually somebody's got a deficiency. They're a guy that can really run, but they're not very, tough on the finish of a run, or, you got a guy that's tough on the finish of a run, but he can't run, or you got a guy that's, doesn't get behind his pads. He just does it all, man. He's got quickness, he's got speed, he's physical. He understands the scheme. They haven't changed the scheme. He knows the runs. He knows where to, he's got the vision for it. He just got it all. So he's a difficult guy just because of how of an all-around back that he is.
Where would you say your team's confidence level is right now following 2 straight wins?
Yeah, our guys are jubilant, man. When you have the season we've had, and our guys have hung in there, and that's the thing about them. I'm most proud of them is, there's a lot of teams and been a part of it where it's things aren't going as you planned, as you thought, and fingers get pointed and blame gets thrown around, and our guys have done none of that. There's been no blame. They haven't blamed somebody or something else and just kept plugging away. So, man, when we got in there and finally got a win, it was authentic because, there was no quiet quitters. There was nobody that had cashed it in, but was just kind of going through the motions. There was nobody that cashed it in from a standpoint of not taking ownership of how we can get better and blamed it on somebody else. So when we got that win, it was, like I said, it was jubilant because it was authentic, group of guys just kept grinding together, grew together, got closer together, transformed, individuals, made you look at yourself, purified you. It was a heck of a deal to go through. So, our guys are just really, really excited right now. And excited about the last 2 outcomes, obviously, and excited about the opportunity on Saturday.
You mentioned Saturday, last game of the season. Anything is this one of those games where you just want to see your players do everything right and just put everything out there one final time?
Yeah, we just want to see them finish, because it hasn't been we've been, a letdown with our record, but our guys haven't let up, and I just want to see that continue. It's perfect season is 11-0. I think it'd be a perfect season if our guys finish well, having been through all they have been through it, and never, never given up on a single play, on a single game, on a single quarter, to date. So I just would like to see them, finish out with that mindset that they've had all year.
And obviously, I know you weren't there a couple of years ago, but I wanted to ask you, Parks Frazier calling his first NFL game, a Murray State alum. I mean, do you know anything about that, or has the program maybe talked about that at all, that you've got a guy calling plays in the NFL all of a sudden?
No, I mean, you're so locked into, what you're doing, and, people, different things are going on, and you're like, hey man, I don't know. This is Tuesday game week. And, at 10:10, I got an OVC teleconference. When that gets done, I'm breaking this down on the film, and then I'm getting ready for practice. And, it's just, you're so locked into, what's going on at the office, and then being locked into, when that's over, practice is over, what's going on at home. So, I mean, it's hard to know anything in the outside world.
You did mention the word OVC, so I wanted to ask, obviously, final OVC game for this, for this program before you guys make the move. I mean, any emotions or any comments just about playing in this conference, which we know has been difficult over the years?
Oh, I mean, it's, first off, we're just honored to be a part of it. And it's been unbelievable partnership. And, we just, and I've had a lot of history in it, having been a assistant for Coach Kidd and seen some of those, great rivalries, that he had with Boots Donnelly, at Middle Tennessee, and Harbaugh at Western Kentucky, and Bob Spoo at Eastern Illinois. So I was blessed as a young coach to see, some of the greats, and Coach Kidd going at him, here Murray, Coach Kidd's, games against Houston Nutt. So I mean, it means a lot to me, the conference, and having seen it through a lot of different lenses, as an assistant coach, as a head coach at two different schools, and see how it's grown and how it's transformed, with different teams leaving and adding teams, so there's no question it's an honor to be a part of it. It's a big deal to me, just because of being an old guy and being in the OVC, at different positions and at different schools. It's a big deal.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, that's a perfect way to end. Coach, thanks so much for your time this year, and best of luck this weekend.
Okay, thanks.